The new era of Manchester United under Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos is right underway. A sporting division has been created with the likes of Jean-Claude Blanc heading the charge. And with sights set on incredible transfer genius Dan Ashworth from Newcastle, it looks like Manchester United could be back. And today, on the brand new winter update of FM24, we're looking to do that exact thing by adding a little twist. I have already rebuilt Manchester United on FM24, so Jim Ratcliffe was just about to take over. But we went absolutely mental on transfers, spent a whole host of money and won a treble in year 3. So the task today is slightly different. Can we do the same thing? Can we win a treble with Manchester United just like in 99, using under 21s and finding some brand new wonder kids in today's rebuild of Manchester United? Well, with this winter update, a lot of players have had a big old boost, and as you look at this starting 11, it is looking very, very tasty with a certain Kobbie Mainoo now in the first team as you pick the squad, and he is there on merit. He is no longer there me locking him in for 5 years like we did last time. He is there because he deserves to be there, and since the last rebuild where he was just a kid who no one really knew how good he was, he has now shown he is probably one of the best midfielders in the Premier League already. That is wild to say, but genuinely I stand by that quote, and I'll be very, very surprised if he's not in the England squad for the upcoming Euros and at least the 2026 World Cup. I'm absolutely sure he will be there. We've got the likes of Alejandro Garnacho, who absolutely ripped it up last time out over on the right wing, Marcus Rashford on the left, Rasmus Højlund up front, who we believe is going to be the star man, and again, same as last rebuild, he will be our striker for the entire thing. Rasmus has got cooking recently, scoring lots and lots of goals before his injury. Hopefully he can stay injury free for us. He has got the long-term injury sort of tag alongside him, and he does like to get injured on FM and a little bit in real life as well, so it'll be good to see if we can iron that out of him and make sure he can be a fit starting striker for us. The back four is looking like Dalot, Varane, Martinez and Shaw. For me, that is the biggest thing that we need to change. Maybe Varane will go, maybe Dalot, maybe Shaw, and Onana in goal. I'm getting more and more confident with by the day, so I'm very, very happy with that. The only other thing that I would like to change is maybe a renewed DM partnership next to Kobbie Mainoo. Casemiro comes up with big goals like he did the other night in the FA Cup, but for me, he looks like he's getting past that best point in his career, the same as Rafa Varane, so I think it's time to move them on. But the best thing here at Manchester United is the ridiculous youth that we have got. If we sort this by potential, I have moved a whole bunch of players up into the first team. The likes of Shea Lacey is looking absolutely fantastic on this winter update. 16 determination and 18 flair at 16 years of age is quite something. The likes of Harry Amas is now a very, very decent Premier League left-back potential. 4-star at Manchester United. That's as good as Luke Shaw, and he looks absolutely brilliant. Again, just 16 years of age. Jace Fitzgerald in midfield, 4-star, looks absolutely brilliant with 20, yes, 20 determination. He has a big old boost. But for me, this is where it gets a little bit disappointing. The likes of Jack and Tyler Fletcher, I'd have liked to see them be given a much bigger boost. But at least they're actually in the game, unlike Amir Ibrahimov, who certainly should be in the game. It is very disappointing that he is not. Now, he is 15, but there is some 15-year-olds on the game. Maybe it's just he's a little bit too young, and next year we'll have to wait for Amir to come onto FM25. And the other thing for me is that the Manchester United under-18s haven't quite had the boost that maybe they deserve. They are currently sitting unbeaten after 17 games on 47 points at the top of the under-18s Premier League table. But they're not quite given that sort of praise on FM. Like I said, with the two Fletchers, they are decent. James Scanlon, Gabriel Bianchari, James Nolan, Louis Jackson, the captain as centre-back, looks okay, but there's not much potential there, and it's very disappointing what's been given to some of these under-18s players. I don't know if I'm just being biased as a Manchester United fan, but for me, there should be some bigger upgrades. But it is what it is. We'll have to make do. Hopefully FM25, when hopefully we go and win another FA Youth Trophy, we'll get a massive, massive upgrade. But this season is all about seeing what this team could do. I have started this season in the July of the start of this 23-24 season, rather than the middle of the season, which I have been doing recently, mainly because we're doing a Wonder Kid under 21s video. I've got a whole host of Wonder Kid scouting set up, and there is going to be a video on the Wonder Kid scouting coming out on Monday, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and get ready for that one. If you are struggling to find Wonder Kids, trust me, I'm going to make it very, very easy for you, and you're going to be able to spot Wonder Kids from simply anywhere. So keep your eyes peeled, because that thumbnail is going to be a banger, and you guys are going to absolutely love it as I help you find many, many Wonder Kids. Now, obviously, we're at the start of the Champions League. Hopefully, we don't go in the group stage, just like real life. We're in the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Premier League. We are predicted to come down in 5th place in the Premier League, behind Manchester City, Liverpool, Newcastle in 3rd, Arsenal in 4th, United in 5th. We are above Chelsea, Spurs, and Aston Villa, but it's a very, very close Premier League table. Let's get right into it. Season number 1. So we're going to kick things off then in the Energy Drink Cup, and Kempi in DM is going to drive through, finds Luke Shaw, of course, getting to that left-hand side, ball into the box, and Alejandro Garnacho is at the back stick to make it 1-0 in just 25 minutes. Again, Mainu instrumental, finds Rashford. That overlapping run of Luke Shaw takes the eyes away from the defender. A ball through to Rasmus Højlund, and he blasts it home for 2-0 against Spurs. James Maddison gets one back from the spot. Heung-min Son was in a corner, and it's a good goal, I tell you. Richarlison back to Destiny Udogie was at a massive upgrade on this winter update, but it takes it to penalties, where Onana steps up to be the man. A great save to kick things off. Bruno Fernandes, who missed a penalty earlier in the game, finishes it. Højbjerg hits the post, and Spurs are 2 down already. An absolute disaster. And as you can imagine, that's all she wrote. Them 2 penalties missed by them. We scored every single one in the game, including Martial, Mason Mount, and Harry Maguire stepping up to the penalty spot. The team we played for this final is very, very nice indeed. Onana in goal, Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka as the fullbacks. Martinez and Varane at centre-back, with Mainu, Casemiro and DM. Garnacho with a 7.2. Rashford, Fernandes and Højlund. The exact team I would have liked to have played did go ahead and play, which I'm very, very excited about. I have made a tactic which sort of portrays the way I want to play with Manchester United quite well. The tactic that you can see on screen right now is going to be available for you guys on the Patreon, as well as the game save files. A massive thank you to the legends on screen right now that do support on Patreon. It is a massive, massive thing that you guys do, and it helps support me in ways you cannot imagine. So a massive, massive thank you to everyone on the screen right now. You are absolute legends. If you want to get your hands on this tactic or on the Patreon game save file, that is all going to be down there. A massive, massive thank you. Now, of course, the Carabao Cup was very, very nice to go into, but there was also some bigger competitions to go ahead and step up into. That, of course, being the Champions League, in which Manchester United in real life absolutely flopped in and got knocked out in the group stage. We managed to get past Sevilla, Panathinaikos to come second in the group behind AC Milan and go forward into the round of 16. We faced up against Benfica, quite a nice draw and a 6-2 victory. And then we head into the quarterfinals. We faced up against Atletico Madrid and gave Diego Simeone an absolute battering. 4-0 at Old Trafford, a 1-0 loss at the Wanda Metropolitano sets us up into the semi-finals, where in the semi-final, in the first leg, we faced up against AC Milan, and as you can tell from the score sheet, got absolutely battered. They not only topped the group, they beat us 4-0 at the San Siro, and was going to take a pretty impossible task at Old Trafford to turn this one round. But of course, never say impossible. It's Manchester United, it's Old Trafford, it's Champions League nights. A Mainu assist into Bruno Fernandes in 30 minutes gets us off to a good start in damage limitations at 4-1. A ball into the back post, Lindelof's heads through, and Varane knocks it past the keeper to make it 2-0. It's looking more realistic. Mainu to Rashford to Shaw to Mainu. An hour on the clock sends an absolute screamer into the top corner to make it 4-3. He runs and gets the ball, and there was nothing for another 15 minutes till Luke Shaw found Bruno Fernandes in the box to make it 4-4. This game is all tied up. Bruno Fernandes in the box sets it back to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw to Martial, of all people, to make it 5-4 on aggregate. AC Milan were not done there. Samuel Chukwueze down the right-hand side is going to get into the box and beat Andre Onana to make it 5-5 on aggregate and send it to extra time, where just after 35 seconds, Wan-Bissaka finds Anthony, finds Bruno Fernandes for a hat-trick in the Champions League. A 6-1 victory, a 6-5 victory in extra time. And we're through. We have won the Champions League semi-final after losing leg 1 4-0. And in season 1, where Manchester United come last in their group, we're in the Champions League final. And we're up against RB Leipzig, who got off to a fantastic start with Javier Schlager down the centre, finds Ejef Elmas in the box to make it 1-0 in 36 minutes. Rashford on the ball finds Mason Mount, finally back from injury that's kept him out for so long. Rabana's it into the box to Alejandro Garnacho to make it 1-0 in a Champions League final. Dalot to Casemiro, Mainu on the ball, driving through, finds Marcus Rashford, ball in the box. Rasmus Højlund is there for 2-1. And we are going to go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and make it 3-1. Luke Shaw and Rashford linking up as they do. Rashford finds Bruno. He blasts it home. 3-1. 2 red cards later, one from Casemiro, of course, one from Willy Orban, and a Champions League final. Manchester United live the Champions League already. In the current season, we're not even in the Champions League. It is what it is, a massive dub to start the rebuild off, and it would be a very good start because a Carabao Cup, a Champions League, you'd like to think would be competitive in the Premier League. Well, no, we come 6th. I know, you weren't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that either. 74 points, just 3 points away from 4th, but a whole host of points behind Liverpool, who ended up going to win the league, which is very frustrating. Manchester City in 2nd, and Aston Villa doing what they are doing in real life, absolutely smashing it on 82 points in 3rd place. Very, very impressive. The relegated teams, Sheffield United, Luton, and Burnley. No props for guessing that them 3 were going to go down, all under 25 points, which is absolutely shocking. But our star man this season was that man, Bruno Fernandes. A 7.4 average rating, 20 goals, 8 per of the matches. He was absolutely fantastic. And he was great at scoring goals. In fact, he was our best at scoring goals, which is a little bit disappointing. He did get 33 in 50 games with 14 assists, which is outrageous. The reason it's disappointing is because the likes of Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, and Marcus Rashford have been outclassed by Bruno Fernandes, which is a bit disappointing, but I suppose Bruno is that guy. He is absolutely fantastic on FM. I don't know if he's had a big old buff or simply we were playing a system which suited him down to a ground as an attacking midfielder on attack. He was just simply brilliant. These stats are outrageous, and a 7.43 over 50 games is absolutely fantastic. Rasmus Højlund did okay. A 6.92 isn't the greatest. 26 goals in 55 also isn't fantastic. And Garnacho, 17 goals and 15 assists in 60 games. For someone of 19 years of age to get 30 goal contributions, I think I'm being maybe a little bit too harsh. That is actually absolutely brilliant. A very, very good season, a 7.08 in 60 games as well. Lots of games for him to go ahead and play, and he was absolutely fantastic. Rashford, not fantastic. I'd have expected much better. 12 goals, 13 assists in 48 games. This is looking like this season's Rashford, so maybe it's down to a T. We might be having a fantastic season, Rashford. 2 or 3 seasons of not so great, and then he'll pop up and be absolutely fantastic. You'll have to watch it and find out what happens with him, but not a great season from there. Diogo Dalot was brilliant, 8 goals and 7 assists. Mainu, 12 assists and 5 goals, 7.06 average rating. He's already progressed so well. At the end of this rebuild, we will go ahead and check out his full progression in every single stat, so make sure to stick around to see how good Mainu does turn out on the brand new winter update. Trust me, he's very, very good. He is going to be an unbelievable player. He's going to break his way into that England team and be a stalwart in that midfield. There's a few things that I do want to touch on in terms of the team, in terms of players I'm looking to improve on. I mentioned it earlier on. Rafa Varane at right centre-back for me needs to be replaced, as does Casemiro. I'm going to look at potentially getting a right-back, potentially a left-back, maybe even a backup left-back, because Malacia maybe isn't that guy, and Harry Amas hasn't progressed quite as well as we'd hope instantly. Obviously, we have only been in the season for a year, so the likes of Harry Amas is still a 4-star, which is great. 17 years of age. Like I say always, in terms of developing wonder kids, the best way to do it is to bring your high potential wonder kids up into the first team and get them playing under 18s or under 21s football. You can see that's what I've got. All of the 1-star ability players are playing in the under 18s. All of the 1.5-star ability players are playing in the under 21s. That is literally just Shola and Tom Heaton at this point. But Tyler Fletcher, Jack Fletcher, Harry Amas, they're all training with the likes of Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. It means they're getting much better training experience, but they're also playing lots of non-competitive games like Harry Amas here with 10 assists and 4 goals, but also had a chance in 2 Carabao Cup games and has progressed okay. To be fair, as a 17-year-old, I'm very, very happy with how he is currently doing. Money-wise, we have got lots of money in the bank, £100 million to go ahead and spend. But like I said, this is under 21s Wonder Kids only. We are not going to go out and sign the likes of Victor Osimhen and go and win the treble next season. In fact, it's going to get a hell of a lot harder because lots of our star players, like Varane and Casemiro, are going to leave, and we're going to have to replace them with under 21s. So I'll see what we can do. Finances-wise at the club, obviously, we all know Manchester United are in horrendous debt. £868 million worth of net debt, to be exact, with £150 million worth of transfer debt. So let's see how we can do it, clearing that as well. This 5 years, hopefully we can get that maybe down to sort of 300 or 400. I'd be happy. halving that debt would be a great start to fixing United. Let's get into it. Season 2's transfers. 4 big outgoings, and the most money we got was Rafa Varane for 45 million to go ahead and play with Cristiano Ronaldo at Al Nassr. I think that is a very good piece of business from us as United. We paid 37 just a few seasons ago. We've had him for 3 seasons. Champions League Varane, a Rolls-Royce defender, an absolute superstar. But off to Al Nassr, we made £10 million profit. He's now on 900k. I'm sure he's quite happy, as is his good mate Casemiro, who's actually gone to Al Ahly to go ahead and play with, I think, Neymar. I don't know who plays in Saudi Arabia. I don't follow the league very much. He's also on 900k a week, and we managed to get just £27 million for him, so not quite as good as we did Varane. We halved our money rather than 1.5 times in it. So, you know, we move. It wasn't the greatest thing of all time, but Varane and Casemiro, both of the wage bill, is a lot of money gone, and are both players that are probably past their best now, so good to go ahead and say goodbye to them. Harry Maguire has had a resurgence in form in real life, but I still think he's not Manchester United quality, so he's gone to FC Porto of all places. £17 million. Again, let's not look at the price we played for him, and then how much we sold him for, because it's embarrassing. He's now on a grand total of £25,000 a week. Harry, mate, you should have gone Saudi. You'd have got a lot more money for your buck. And Christian Eriksen is the last sale to go to Everton. Actually quite happy with this sale. We managed to get a grand total of £9 million for him, and he's going to go to Everton, keep playing Premier League football. I'm a huge fan of Eriksen in real life. The story itself is absolutely fantastic and so inspiring. So the fact that he's still playing and now he's going to Everton in this mode as well. In the Premier League still, I absolutely love it. Consistent, lots of big matches. Shout out Christian Eriksen, the absolute legend. A whole host of players have gone out on loan. A whole host of players have left the club on free contracts. Honestly, they're not good enough for me to even go ahead and mention. So let's get in to some brand new Wonder Kids. Number 1 is Maximilian Bier from TSG Hoffenheim. I've never heard of him either, lads, but he looks absolutely brilliant. He scored 10 goals in 32 games last season in the Bundesliga as a 20-year-old striker. He has 14 finishing, 16 acceleration, 18 pace, and 16 determination, and I have never seen him in my life. He is consistent. He looks very good. He's right-footed, also decent with his left. He can use the outside of his foot, knocks the ball past the opponent. He's outrageously quick. He's 6'1", the perfect backup, in my opinion, to Rasmus Højlund. A very, very similar vibe. You know, 6'1" and decent height, very, very quick, decent finishing, a little bit raw, needs to be sort of trained. Maxi Beer as our backup striker to Rasmus Højlund is incredibly exciting. Giacomo Fataccancini is a player that I said was looking fantastic in my 50 new Wonder Kids list, and I, of course, went ahead and signed him. He looks absolutely outrageous. He's got 17 aggression and 18 determination. He's 6'2". He's only 19. I described him to a bit of a young Gattuso, and I stick by that. Maybe he's a little bit taller than Gattuso was, but he's consistent, even-footed, dives into challenges, aggressive. He's quite expensive at £20 million. He was decent over in Serie B last season, but hopefully this season, as a backup DM, he can really go ahead and shine. And I will say right now, we did spend £40 million more than we actually sold. We brought £130 million of players, but sold only 90. So a little bit of a negative spend, but only 40 million, and we completely changed the age profile of the club, bringing in a youngster like Juan Lu, who's been killing it over at Sevilla this season, IRL. We are going to be bringing him in to be our attacking right back, and to get rid of someone like Wan-Bissaka or Diogo Dalot, having Juan Lu in as our right back is going to be absolutely pivotal. Great going forward, great down the line, very quick, 6'1", consistent, £17 million, very good over at Sevilla last season, 34 games, so some great experience for him. I'm expecting him to be a fantastic right back for us. Someone that seems to have had a big old boost on this version of the winter update is Arjan Ibrahimovic, not Zlatan Ibrahimovic. This is Arjan. He is over at FC Bayern Munich. He is over at Frosinone in real life on loan. Absolutely smashed it. 6.94 at 18 years of age in the Serie A. I'll have some of that, please. £6 million is all we paid for him. He's consistent. He's got great dribbling, great determination, great acceleration, even-footed, 18 years of age. Very exciting. Hopefully we can get something good out of the brand new Ibrahimovic. A DM from Monaco is Songatu Magassa. This guy looks very decent, very well-rounded. To be honest, not quite the quality that I would have liked him to be at. I think this guy looks absolutely brilliant in real life, and he's not quite there on FM just yet, but he is only 20 years of age and played a whole host of games for the Monaco 2 team last year. Hopefully he's going to be all right. He is our backup because we have signed another superstar CDM, but we'll go through him in just a minute. David Martinez is a signing I have made from Mongas SC. He's got great dribbling, great determination, great pace. Cost me a grand total of £400,000. I thought, why not? It was one of them signings right at the very end where a wonder kid props up. It's too good to turn down. He's back out on loan at his club in Venezuela. Hopefully he can smash it. If not, we only spent 400k on him. He now plays for Manchester United. That's at least a £10 million player. So very happy with that one. Another one that was on our Wonder Kids list was Aruna Sangate from Havre in France. This guy looks great. 16 marking, 16 positioning, 16 aggression, great determination, great heading, great tackling, great physical attributes. 6'2", the perfect partner for someone like Lisandro Martinez in my eyes. He looks absolutely brilliant and right-footed as well. So excited with him. 22 years of age. Again, never seen him before. I maybe haven't got the best Wonder Kids you've ever seen in this save so far, but certainly some new ones that you guys might not have heard of. And Sangate looks absolutely brilliant. Someone else that looks simply outrageous and is one of the best Wonder Kids on this winter update is Şemi Gülkuşoy from Besiktas. I mean, just look at these stats and marvel at the fact he's only 18 years of age. At Besiktas, 17 determination, 16 flair, 14 dribbling, 15 finishing, 13 first touch, outrageous pace, 5'9", either-footed, incredibly consistent, and guess what? £16 million, one of the best strikers for years and years to come, an absolute bargain. You do yourself a favour, go and get him. He simply is just too good to not look at and too good to turn down, as is Kobe Mainoo's brand new CDM partner, Adam Wharton. This guy looks fantastic. He is a big old upgrade from the days at Blackburn. He's now at Crystal Palace in real life. They paid £19 million for him in just 20 games. We've doubled that to spend £50 million. Classic Manchester United, but only 50 million quid for this guy at 20 years of age, I think is actually a complete bargain. He's either footed, great first touch, great passing, great technique. Him and Mainoo as a double fit pivot is not only Manchester United future, is England's future, and I'm very, very excited to say that he is into the first team next to Mainoo, with the team looking like so. Onana in goal, Dalot and Shaw staying as a wing-back partnership for this season, with Sangante and Martinez as the backup partner. Wharton and Mainoo in DM, Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left, Bruno Fernandes up in cam, and Rasmus Højlund up front. The backups are looking great with Bayindir, Juan Lu, Lindelof, Magassa, Malacia, Faticancini, McTominay, Ibrahimovic, Mount, Şemi Gülkuşoy, and Maximilian Beer as the backups. There is not as many star names in this team. Trust me, I know that. I've got rid of Varane and Casemiro for Sangante and Adam Wharton. But trust me, this team on the actual pitch is going to absolutely cook. We are in lots of competitions this season. The Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the UEFA Super Cup, the Champions League, and the Premier League. How many of them can we bring home? Right, well, no trophies this season. Well, other than the UEFA Super Cup, and we are in the Club World Cup Championship. But overall, this season was not quite as well as we planned. We have moved up to third place in the Premier League from 6th, which is very good, and now on 82 points. But let's be honest, no trophies as a season as Manchester United. We may have got used to that in recent times, but for me, here in an unrealistic world of Football Manager, I'd like a trophy every single season. Even an Energy Drink Cup would make me happy. The Premier League table wasn't as bad as it maybe seems. Like I said, 82 points is good. 10 points behind City, who are back at the top. The 115 charges seem to have not been coded in by SI, which is, gutting because they shouldn't even be here. Absolutely disgusting they are. Obviously a joke. Rasmus Højlund in second place on 19 goals. Only a whole host of 23 behind Erling Haaland, who's an absolute joke. And they've also got Vinicius Jr. So maybe we'll just write off the Premier League from here on out, shall we? We might not win a Premier League for the rest of this rebuild, or even at all in this rebuild. Bruno Fernandes with 12 assists joint with Mo Salah. I'm not going to waste too much time on this season because, to be honest, it wasn't great. 25 goals for Bruno Fernandes and 17 assists. Rasmus for 25 and 4. Marcus Rashford 17 and 14 is decent. Anthony, 10 goals and 3 assists, while Garnacho only gets 8 goals but 15 assists. A very weird world. I tried to sell Anthony. For the life of me, he wouldn't leave. I'll be doing everything I can to say goodbye to him. Maxi Beer has scored 8 goals in 6 start, but 34 off the bench. I'm actually quite happy with that. A very, very good backup option. And I'm absolutely buzzing with that signing, to be honest. Ibrahimovic didn't really hardly play, very young. Juan Lu is the backup right back too. Diego Dalot was very, very good. 4 goals and 3 assists, 26 off the bench is brilliant. Very, very happy. And Mason Mount seems to have found himself a brand new role here at Manchester United as a deep line playmaker in CDM, which is interesting the way he has progressed into that role. I didn't expect it. I guess you guys didn't either. But Mason Mount, we've found a position for him. It's not the wings, it's not Cam, it's CDM. And he played 49 games there with 4 goals and 7 assists. Don't worry yourself. Koi Mainu is the starter next to him. 43 starts, 2 goals, 8 assists, still over a 7 average rating. Of course, it's Mainu. He's just consistently amazing. Adam Watson, 27 starts, 21 off the bench. Again, very, very good. 2 goals, 4 assists, above a 7. Very, very happy with him. I imagine he'll take Mount maybe a season in, maybe another season after that, and then he'll be a starter. Shay Lacey got a game with the bench. Leacher was fantastic. Facantini hardly played, which is a little bit disappointing. Lindelof played a lot of games at the back because Sangante, I had to end up locking him in as centre-back because he wasn't playing. Trust me, this guy is very, very good. For some reason, he's not really developing too much. I mean, he looks very, very good. He looks better than Lindelof, but for some reason the game was picking him, so I ended up locking him in so he could actually get some game time and he could actually try and grow. The squad here is just absolutely ridiculous. This season, a bit of a write-off. We've gone ahead and got £85 million, 900k in wage budget. But, I mean, just a very, very quick league. Quarterfinal by Champions League in Man City. 5th round of the FA Cup, Manchester City. And Carabao Cup quarterfinal by Everton. The relegated teams, Fulham, Bournemouth and Southampton. Let's get into the transfers of Season 3. Right then, £50 million out, £50 million coming in. Jadon Sancho is gone. He is off to Spurs. Well, hopefully he can go ahead and revive his career. This actually happened last season. I forgot to tell you guys about it because he hadn't quite gone just yet, but he was decent at Spurs. 31 games, just 1 goal. Was also useless at Borussia Dortmund. Sorry, Jadon, it's just not quite worked out. I tried to be a little bit realistic and get rid of him because I think in real life his United career is up. He's not exactly killing it at Dortmund. I think if it was going to stay at United, he needs to go ahead and absolutely smash it. He's not the only winger leaving the club. Finally, Anthony's gone. It's to West Ham, so he's staying in the Premier League. I've got no idea why they brought him. We sold him for a grand total of 15 million. This is alongside the Harry Maguire signing as one of the worst in Manchester United's history. He's gone though, and he's off the wage bill, which is very, very good. Now, this season only made 3 signings, only 1 signing for the first team, and that was Chadi Riyad. Now, you might think we might need a lot more of a rebuild than I've just brought in Riyad, but trust me, this guy centre-back proves a big old issue at the club. We've got Martinez, but we haven't really got a centre-back next to him. I had to lock in Sangante. If not, it was Lindelof. This guy comes in, 22 years of age. He's going to be our starter for the rest of this rebuild. He's incredibly consistent. He loves big matches as well. Great jump and reach, great heading, great anticipation. Left-footed. Doesn't bother me too much. He can also play on his right foot quite well. Plays out the back, which is great to see. He was expensive at £42 million, but 32 games for Real Betis and then 23 for Barcelona. He's a very good starter, and for that sort of price, he's now got a value of £132 million. And is our only starter that we have signed. We've signed another couple of centre-backs. Felipe Sanchez is another one from Gimnasia over in Argentina. I'm going to guess this guy is brand new to the winter update because his picture looks absolutely awful and it looks like it was taken about 45 years ago, even though he's only 21 years of age. He's consistent, got great concentration, also left-footed, also Argentinian. He's a young leacher from Argentina, and he cost me just £5 million. Looks very, very good. Excited to see what Felipe Sanchez can bring to the club. And the last one is Rui Silva from Benfica, a young Portuguese centre-back. Now, yes, I could have gone out and signed Antonio Silva, or I could have signed Ousmane Diomande. You've seen them all before. I didn't want to make this rebuild the same as every other rebuild on YouTube or on the channel, really, because I often sign them big wonder kids. This time I wanted to be different. I've done a United rebuild. We've won the treble in 3 seasons. This one's a lot different, a lot more difficult, finding different wonder kids that are very, very fun, and hopefully this is the sort of route that United go down in real life. We do get Dan Ashworth in. I think he was responsible for bringing in some like crazy players over all the clubs that he has been at, so hopefully this is the strategy that we go ahead and go down as well, and I hope you guys can sort of see the rebuild is much more enjoyable this way rather than just winning everything straight away. So still no Premier League table, obviously a Champions League, which is great. The team is looking like so. Onana in goal, Dalot, Riyad, Martinez and Luke Shaw as the back 5, very strong, with Main and Mainu in midfield, very strong. We've got Garnacho, Fernandez, Rashford and Højlund up front. Very strong. Actually, very, very happy with this team. I think that one centre-back makes a massive, massive difference. Bayende, Juanlu, Sangante, Sanchez and Harry Amas now as the backup defenders, with Wharton and Fatchancini as the backup DMs, Gilgashoy, Shay Lacey, Ibrahimovic and Beer as the backup attackers. That is us done for Season 3's transfers. The quickest season you've ever seen. End of Season 2, start of Season 3. absolutely rapid. Hopefully we're going to go into some highlights. It's like I can tell the future. It's absolutely crazy. Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side fires a goal past Carl Darlow. Yes, we're playing against Leeds in the Carabao Cup final. It's the Energy Drink Cup, okay, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the greatest competition, but it's a final that we might not even win because Willie Gnonto has just scored an absolute screamer against Onana. Garnacho's dropped deep to pick the ball up, switches a great ball out to Marcus Rashford, who finds a great reverse pass into Bruno Fernandes to make it 2-1. But it wasn't done there. Willie Gnonto is an absolute demon. Mason Mount goes in for a ridiculous challenge. Gnonto picks it up, fires a great goal home to make it 2-2. And we had to rely on a man to make it 3-2. In the 89th minute, Rashford and Shaw linking up as usual. A ball into the back stick. Brand new Turkish winger Semil Gülkasoy makes it 3-2. And Manchester United lift the Carabao Cup again 3 times in 4 years. Obviously 1 in real life, the 2 in 3 seasons in this rebuild, which is great. It's just not the most exciting trophy to win, and believe it or not, we didn't go ahead and win the Champions League either. We got to the quarterfinals, we faced up against eventual winners PSG, we lost 2-1 at the Parc des Princes, 0-0 at Old Trafford. Gutted, because that is actually a very, very good result in both legs. But sadly, they went ahead and won it. Liverpool got battered 4-0 in the final, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And the FA Cup, again, we also managed to get to the quarterfinals. It seems to be our favourite place to go, and eventually lost to Brighton on penalties, which is fuming. They lost to Chelsea, and then Arsenal beat Chelsea, so we just faced a bunch of nobodies, which is very, very annoying. So no FA Cup, no Champions League, a Carabao Cup, and a Barclays Premier League. Yes, it has come home. We have won the Premier League for the first time since 2012. That is disgusting, isn't it? It's now 2026 in this world as well. So 14 years, no Premier League trophy. Wowzers. Right, well, we released it, we've won it, and we've won it with Rasmus Højlund up front as well. A point clear of Manchester City on 82, while they get 81. Rasmus with 19 goals, Haaland with 34. Absolutely ridiculous. It feels like the F1 with Verstappen out in front, just scoring all the goals, winning every single game. But there we are, little Charles Leclerc, just, you know, getting them poles in. A nice little F1 niche reference for anyone that loves it. In the comments, do you like F1? I absolutely love it. Bruno Fernandes, a 7.34 average rating, and joint on top of assists again with 14 is brilliant. Luke Shaw still absolutely smashing it as well. In terms of the actual team overall, only 5 goals less than City, a whole lot more goals conceded, and that's because the youthful players that we are having to bring in DM and in centre back to try and compete with them. Possession wise, nowhere to be seen. Not really surprised given the Manchester United team we see week in, week out. In terms of goals, Rasmus Højlund was finally our top goal scorer. 32 goals in 52 games. Bruno Fernandes didn't exactly have an off year. 25 goals and 22 assists is simply fantastic. Semil Gülkasoy turned into a starter. 16 goals and 5 assists, which means Rashford and Garnacho are now rotating with this kid. So Rashford's got 12, Garnacho's got 11, and both with only 7 and 5 assists as well. It's certainly not the killer that I expected from Garnacho or Rashford in this rebuild, but nevertheless, here we are. Ibrahimovic was fantastic, 7 goals in 7 starts. Maxi Beer, 11 goals and 11 starts as well, both brilliant. Luke Shaw, 24 assists. Diogo Dalot with 8 is also very, very good. I mean, the Wonder Kids are flying up through the squad, which is great to see. Harry Amas has now made 2 starts to this club and 3 off the bench as well. And Shea Lacey, another 2 games off the bench. Maybe we need to send them both out on loan to go ahead and get some serious experience. There's not many players coming through the academy that are going to be good enough to break into the first team. It is incredibly difficult to do. I mean, Andre Daly is a central midfielder who looks very, very good at 4-star potential. I don't know if he's ever going to make it at United, though. Let's be honest. It's very, very difficult. You have to be an absolute wonder kid like Kobe Mainu to go ahead and do that, or Alejandro Garnacho. Stuart Hamilton is doing well. He's a young left winger. We've just got so many wingers. I don't know again if he'll ever break in. He's Scottish. He looks great with his blonde afro. We'll see if he ever makes it. In terms of people going out on loan as well, I did do quite a lot of that this summer. The likes of Amari Forson sadly didn't get a big boost in this winter update. Still only a championship level player. Wan-Bissaka is finally leaving to go ahead to Forest. Hannibal hasn't developed. He's going out to Norwich. Magassa is at Sunderland on loan. Dan Gore again should have had a bigger upgrade in my opinion. He's on loan at Barnsley. Max Uedeli is at Stockport, and Amad Diallo is at RB Leipzig and not playing very well either. So a few careers that haven't gone great here at Manchester United, which is a big old shame. We have got £95 million to spend, which must mean our finances are looking decent. I mean, looking at the debts and loans, we're down to just 68 million. I don't know how this has happened. I mean, I've just checked the board out of interest and nothing's changed. We've still got the Glazer owner. We've got Barada, Patrick Stewart, Jean-Claire Blanc. I mean, so I always say, so Jim Ratcliffe isn't on this list, but he wasn't at the start either, because I'm baffled as to why he's not there. Dave Brailsford's here, but no Sir Jim, which is a little bit odd, unless I'm being blind. But maybe it's because of the whole niece thing, it can't be named. That possibly is what it is. That might be how it is in real life as well. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I might have missed that piece of information, but no new owners. We've just managed to clear lots and lots of debt, which is absolutely fantastic, because hopefully by the time you guys pick this up on Patreon, you can now take United to the next level, because I've cleared all the debt for you. It's something that's been needed to be done, and us selling loads of players for lots of money and bringing in Wonder Kids has certainly gone ahead and helped that. Let's get into Season 4. We win a treble in Season 4, but what signings are we going to make to get us to that next step? A very controversial sale is how we get to that next step. Bruno Fernandes has left the club to Al Hilal. He wanted to leave because they come in and offered £1.4 million a week to him. Of course, I couldn't keep hold of him, and to be honest, I accepted £80 million for a 31-year-old Cam that I thought I could go ahead and replace. Now, Bruno Fernandes is an absolute legend, and something that I haven't actually touched on just yet, which I have seen. He went ahead and won a Ballon d'Or at some point. I believe it was the 2004 season. He won the World Football of the Year somewhere. There it is. Look at the golden ball. Number 1, Bruno Fernandes, 54 games, 33 goals, 14 assists, unrivaled, even come third the next year as well. So it's certainly a shame to see Bruno Fernandes leave the club, but it is what has gone ahead and happened. He's an absolute legend of the game, an absolute legend of Manchester United, and I'm a huge fan of Bruno. There's lots of controversy about him at the moment with all his, diving, etc. But he's a player that you love to have, you hate to play against, like Ander Herrera. Exact same vibes. We love Bruno Fernandes, the absolute legend, but he has left the club, which means we have to go ahead and bring in a huge Cam to take that spot, and Franco Mastantuono is that man. Well, he's not going to be the starter, he's going to be the backup, but he is the cover star, and you might not recognise him, but he's the guy on the right-hand side, Garnacho on the left. You know Garnacho, it's the other guy. Mastantuono, I think I'm saying that name right. He's actually heavily linked to Manchester United in real life as well, so this guy looks absolutely outrageous and is my standout performer on the FM24 Winter Update. There's going to be a video coming out in a few days on how to actually find these Wonder Kids. Now, obviously, this guy we will just naturally find and go ahead and pick up because he turns into one of the best players in the game. Let me be honest with you right now. This is him at 18 years of age. It's simply ridiculous. 16 dribbling, 17 flair, great pace, left-footed, great consistency as well. Just 5'10", shoots from distance, cuts inside from the right. It's so exciting to have a player like this, hopefully linked with Manchester United, and again, shows that new footballing side of the club, which hopefully comes to fruition. So welcome Franco into the club, which is so exciting. A brand new backup right back is Elias Baum. This guy cost us just £3.1 million, and to be honest, I signed him because I've never heard of him before, and he looks very good. A young, very determined, quick, crossing, dribbling right back that gets forward whenever possible. Yeah, you tick a lot of boxes for £3 million as a release clause. So a 100% purchase in Elias Baum. He looks absolutely brilliant. Potential is very decent as well. Can get up to a good Premier League standard as a backup to Dalot, who has been absolutely smashing it. I'm very happy to bring him in. Benjamin Cremonese is my next signing, bringing him in and then loaning him back out to Inter Miami. He was very good pre-winter update. To be honest, he's just so cheap for £6 million. Why not bring him in and then probably sell him in a year's time for 20 million quid? But Benjamin, welcome to the club. If you guys don't know this guy, absolutely fantastic. And obviously right now, he's learning off Messi, so he's going to get even better, I imagine. So welcome Benjamin in. And finally, the Cam to replace Bruno Fernandes is someone that I've been gassing up for absolutely ages now, is Eliassé Ben Seguir. This guy seems to have had a huge boost on this winter update. He was very good previously. Now he's ridiculous. I mean, just looking at these stats, 16 dribbling, 16 first touch, 17 technique, 16 vision, 17 flair. He's a young 21-year-old Cam who is French. He's consistent. Very excited. This guy's been killing it in real life recently as well, and he's been very good on FM for us. There are 3 seasons now at Monaco, all starting, all playing very well. Now here at United, can he take that next step to being a superstar central attacking midfielder? Well, I'm going to slightly change the tactic to make things a little bit less stressful on him. I've made him just an attacking midfielder on support and moved Garnacho and Rashford into inside forwards on attack, rather than being on support and the attacking midfielder on attack, because I need Garnacho and Rashford to start performing, and obviously Bruno Fernandes was smashing it on attack, whereas Ben Seguir take a bit of pressure off, let Garnacho and Rashford take the weight of it. Onana in goal, Dalot, Riyad, Martinez and Shaw, Mount, Mainu, Ben Seguir, Garnacho, Rashford, Højlund. Let's get into Season 4. I want to see if we can go back-to-back in the Premier League, potentially a treble. who knows? It might not be possible. Vinicius Jr. and Haaland is quite something to play up against. So the best way to kick the season off was the Community Shield to keep a clean sheet and win on penalties against Arsenal. We will take that one. And then we fly into the FA Cup final. We play against Chelsea, and in just 1 minute and 25 seconds, Samuel Gilakashoy gets us off to a 1-0 lead. And that is all she wrote. By the way, this guy is incredible. If you have never seen Samuel Gilakashoy, trust me, go ahead and use him. I'm aware I'm probably absolutely butchering his name. I don't understand how to say that in the slightest, but he is unbelievable. His stats are crazy, and he scores so many goals this season. 16 goals and 8 assists in 35 games as a 21-year-old, and cropping up in a big game like that. Absolutely massive for Big Semi. And well, not only was it a Community Shield, an FA Cup, it was also a Champions League, this time against a PSG. And a hilarious own goal as Ugarte pokes it home before Donnarumma can do anything. An own goal. 1-0 very early on. We had nothing to do with it. Victor Osimhen is having to save though, and he makes it 1-1 just after half time before Marcus Rashford steps up and scores for United to make it 2-1, just like that night in Paris. He then drives to the left-hand side, finds Luke Shaw, Adam Warston DM, finds Mainu, finds Dalot. A lovely one-touch move there to make it 3-1 against PSG. We all know they're very, very good. Ansu Fati at PSG now driving on the right-hand side, finds it back to Xavi Simons to make it 3-2. And PSG weren't done there because Antonio Silva finds Ugarte and one at the top. Ansu Fati, very, very quick, very, very good, makes it 3-3 in the 87th minute. Before the final whistle could go though, we had more to say. Samuel Gilakashoy finds a ball through to Højlund, an awful mistake at the back, and 2 goals gifted by PSG makes a 4-3 victory, and United were Community Shield, FA Cup and Champions League winners. A real treble. Add the Community Shield in there, and we've gone ahead and done it. Of course, I am joking, but I'm very, very happy. 3 trophies in this season. Could we cap it off and make it the actual treble? No, we couldn't. We come 3rd. Disappointing. That was 100% our chance for a treble. We were 5 points behind Arsenal and Manchester City, who joint points on 81. We just got 76. 82 is what we got. We won the league, and we were that had been 1 point clear of City again and winning the league again. But sadly, we fell off and did not win it. We concentrated on the FA Cup and the Champions League and won them. So I can't be too angry because a very good season where Højlund and Rashford both got in the top 3, of course, behind Robot Man Haaland. Dalot for top of the assist with 14 is unbelievable, and Rashford a 7.35. Like I predicted at the start of this rebuild, he was going to have a bad year and then a couple of good years. That is exactly what has happened. Goals-wise, Rashford 27 and 13 assists, Højlund 32 and 5, Samuel Gilakashoy 16 and 8, and Garnacho 12 and 4. I can't lie, Garnacho's not doing it in this rebuild. Last rebuild, he was the star. This rebuild, he isn't. Samuel Gilakashoy is. Maxi Bayer, another 11 goals, a fantastic backup. Chadi Rayad scored 7 goals and just under a 7 rating is brilliant. Elias Benseguir, our £90 million cam, didn't do anything. 6 goals and 6 assists. Which means it's great that Rashford stepped up, because without Rashford stepping up, well, of course, we were missing all the goals of Bruno Fernandes. One person I want to touch on is Franco. He played 12 games off the bench and didn't start a single game. So best believe next season, I'm going to lock him into that cam role, because Benseguir has not impressed me, and I want to see what Franco can do. And trust me, you're not going to be disappointed, because he is fantastic. 10 assists for Juan Lu, 14 for Luke Shaw, but the main man was Diogo Dalot with 16 assists, and Mason Mount with 14 assists as well. Kobe Mainu will very quickly click on his profile. 3 goals and 5 assists, a whole bunch of yellow stats. He's now got 14 caps for England with 4 goals. A £92 million value, 131 Premier League games for Manchester United, and already looking like an unbelievable player. My absolute legend, Kobe Mainu, you are the guy on this FM. What a hero, what a season. Season number 4 was an FA Cup, a Champions League, a Community Shield. Can we make season 5 even better? Well, we'd have to do it without Diogo Dalot, because he has left to go ahead and join Newcastle for £50 million. Now, Dalot was very, very good last season, but I think we can do even better, and now at 28 years of age, I'm looking to replace him, and to be honest, I just wanted to sign a brand new right back, because there's someone that I very much like on this brand new update, and I wanted to get him into the first team, and we'll see him in just a minute. But thank you, Delo, absolute legend. Go and join Newcastle, probably on a ridiculous amount of money. Now, Ibrahimovic has been decent for us, just 19 games in 3 years, but a very good rotational option. He has gone ahead and joined Damak, and I'm very, very happy with him, to be honest. He was actually quite good in the games he did play. We sold him for just 6 million, sold him for 22, progressed fairly okay. Trust me, he could be much better than we've made him. He could be a superstar for you. Just 22 million pounds raised there. And Felipe Sanchez, the guy who I think grown a lot on this one, he was okay. He never really played for us. 26 games, better than Ibrahimovic did. And we sold him for 17 million pounds to Al Wada, also in Saudi, for 55k a week. Hannibal Mejbri has finally left the club for 15 million pounds, which certainly I'll be taking. He's gone ahead and joined Al Hazim. Again, not progressing, doesn't really have that sort of wow factor. And Benjamin Kremasecki, I mentioned, we'll bring him for 6, we'll sell him for 20, we'll sell him for 12, but still a decent sale, and he is off also to Saudi at Al Qaeda. Rumi Silva, who we signed ages ago for £2 million, has left for 7.5 to go ahead and join Leicester. He simply hasn't progressed, and I don't think he will progress, especially in this rebuild, so we'll say goodbye to him. And finally, Victor Lindelof has also left to go ahead and join RC Lens. £2.7 million, a 32-year-old Lindelof. What a servant, 10 years at United, what a hero. The Iceman himself, the absolute legend. First signing to replace him is Altay Yungal, who went back to Turkey to try and find someone from Besiktas again who could be very good for us, a very good young centre-back who could progress into being a superstar centre-back for us as well at just £6 million. An absolutely shrewd piece of business. £30 million is Ashley Phillips from Spurs. He's not played too much in this career, but again, in my top 50 brand new Wonder Kids list, Ashley Phillips was right at the top of the centre-backs chart, so we brought him in and to see what he could do for us as this season progresses. He was obviously good pre-winter update. He's even better now. Looks fantastic. Very quick, very good jump and reach. £30 million. He is in. And my right back to replace Diogo Dalot is that legend Hector Fort, an absolute hero who looks simply fantastic. Now, he has been at Barcelona this whole time. He has been out on loan at Ipswich, and I've spent £61 million on him. Simply, this guy is absolutely fantastic. He's been brilliant for me in a rebuild pre-winter update. He's had a big old boost post-winter update, and I'll see how good he is in the match engine. I think he could smash Diogo Dalot's record this season. He gets forward a lot. He's very good in his right foot. He's big. He's 6'1". He can cross. He can dribble. He can defend. He's quick. Absolutely a huge fan of Hector Fort, and a Barcelona Academy player as well. Is also always good to get into the team. Now, looking at our best team, we are looking at the likes of Onana in goal, Hector Fort at right back, Riyad and Martinez as centre back, with Luke Shaw at left back, Mason Mount and Mainu in DM. Mount, a massive surpriser in this rebuild. Simo Gilkashoy is now a starting right winger. I've given up on Garnacho, and Gilkashoy too hard to ignore. Mastuano in cam, Rashford on the left, Haaland up front. Season 5, surely it's treble time. So we kick it off with the Premier League table, and 96 points, a 61 goal difference. Just 2 losses all season to City and to Everton. United are top of the charts, a fantastic season. And 2 titles in 5 seasons, siding only under 21s, I think is incredibly impressive. Both Rashford and Haaland on 22 goals. Rashford was 7.46 average rating. I'm absolutely buzzing with how we finished this rebuild. In terms of team stats, we scored the most goals on 91, and we conceded the least on 30. So them signings of Hector Fort has made a massive difference, as well as Chadi Riyad as well. Have both shored up the defence massively, and I'm very, very happy with what we have done with this Manchester United team. We are not here just for the Premier League table, though, because there is other competitions we have to go ahead and win if we want to go ahead and win that treble. So I bring you to the Champions League final. Last year, it was against PSG. This year, of course, it's against PSG as well. Mason Mount whips it in. Rasmus Højlund heads home on the half-time whistle, and that's it. A 1-0 victory. Champions League winners. A very easy game. I say easy, it was very tight and cagey actually. Pretty much no shots each team, 10 for us, 5 for them. 51% possessions, they're 49. A very even game. We come out 1-0 winners, and the starting team for this final was Onana in goal, Hector Fort and Lisandro Martinez as our 2 wing backs, with Sangante, our starting centre back that we signed right at the very start, next to Chad Riyad, Mainu and Mason Mount in DM, with Elieshe Bensakir on the right, Rashford on the left, Mastanwano on the cam roll, and Højlund up front. A very exciting 11 with a whole host of new Wonder Kids in it that's gone ahead and lifted us a Champions League. Well, could it be the start of a historic treble? No. 3rd rounded by Brighton in the FA Cup. Of course, Brighton are the ones to knock us out, as they did a few years ago, meaning just one FA Cup in 5 years. And no treble. I'm absolutely livid. And it's not even a fake treble either, because you can see the screen. Carabao Cup, we were 4th rounded by Newcastle. We've only won 2 of them in the last 5 years. I mean, Premier League-wise, we've done very well, winning 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 Carabao Cups, 1 FA Cup, and 3 Champions Leagues. Is that a successful Manchester United rebuild? Personally, I would bite your hand off right now for the next 5 years. We're going to look anything like that one. I hope you guys have enjoyed. The stand-up players for this season were Højlund, Rashford, Gilchrist was very good again. Garnacho, a decent season as a rotation option. Ben Seguir, Franco Mastantuono, 8 goals and 3 assists, is progressing so well. Give this guy a chance if you're a Patreon member. He will be an absolute stud. If you do sign up on Patreon right now, you do still get access to all the rebuild files, especially this one as well. So obviously go ahead and do that. It helps support me massively as well. But the last player we're going to touch on is Kobbie Mainoo. 22 caps for England, 166 starts for Manchester United, some ridiculous stats, and to show you the progression from all time in attributes, this guy has grown a ridiculous amount. His mental stats are outrageous, his technicals are also fantastic, his physicals already very good, and the scary thing, he's only 23 years of age. This guy's an absolute stud. Make sure you give him some love. Kobbie Mainoo, the absolute king. Thank you for watching. If you did like this video, make sure to like it. There is a Moneyball rebuild down there. There is the Wonder Kids list down there. Thank you for watching. I'll speak to you next time.